Hey guys, you may or may not have noticed that I've been having like a lack of videos throughout a couple periods of months, or a couple months I should say. I've been having like a lack of motivation and all that to like basically make any videos like these, let alone the Minecraft videos. But, sometimes I feel like I'm taking a step forward and I'm taking like 2 steps back, and it's so annoying. But, even then, like, I never really run out of ideas. It's more of just, I gotta get in it and I gotta do it, and then there's some kind of like outside force, really messing with my system, my motivation and all that. So yeah, it kinda sucks. But aside from being a normal person and having like the motivation to be here on YouTube, it does come and go in waves, since most of us go through it. Like, all of us go through, these kinds of periods of like high motivation and then low motivation where you don't want to do anything. And one of the demotivating factors is just that I've been getting really sick, and it's annoying. But like, it's not life-threatening, don't worry, but I've been getting sick at times. And that's even more annoying. I remember a few years ago, or it could have been last year, I think it was last year, at the time of this recording, my family and I and my doggy, we took my dog Edna, and we went out to Vegas, staying at the Excalibur Hotel and Casino. So the ride wasn't really all that bad. I had to comfort the slightly anxious girl throughout the ride to and from Vegas, but overall she was fine, so she did okay. And when we got there, we basically gambled all of our life savings, and she lost all of our money, so thanks, Edna. But we finally got our key card to our room once we got to Vegas, and we had to wait and gamble. The room was decent, mainly our room was facing the pool area, but whatever, that's not really important. What was important and weird was the cleanliness of the bedroom, or the hotel room that we were staying at, or lack thereof, of the hotel actually. The whole hotel was pretty dirty. So, okay, we got to our room, right? We check it out, we get settled in, and all of a sudden, my family and I hear like this loud crunch sound. We wondered where that came from. Where did it come from? And we figured, oh, it must have been Edna. So we go and check up on her, and she was at like a little corner of the room. The little bitch was eating a fat fucking nail. That's basically what she was doing. It was so disgusting. And we're like, Edna, no! And she's like, I was just there. So okay, that was basically one indication that the room was like really not clean at all, as we expected it to be. And there was like small pieces of nails along the room, like the floors of the carpet of the room too. And that was like super unsanitary and really disgusting, and that's all I could really remember. But I know there was definitely a lot more stuff that was really not thoroughly cleaned. It was pretty disgusting. Keep in mind, Edna was fine at this point. Time passes during the day, and I wanted to check out this little dog relief area that Excalibur had to offer. So I take Edna up to do her thing, poop, as dogs do, and we do. Apparently the relief area was so poorly maintained, like goddamn, it was super unsanitary. Like, people do not pick up after their dog's poop, like at all apparently, like they don't do that. There was like so much poop scattered along like the little patch of grass where this dog, area is supposed to be at, and poop was like everywhere, right? It was a major disappointment, and to make things even worse, there were no poop bags. There was like a little pole station, and I'm guessing that was like, meant for like doggy bags to be placed in every day or so, or whenever it's empty. I'm guessing people were just stealing the bags or something, but there was no poop bags, right? And one would think, don't even think about it, just bring your own bags, bring your own poop bags, right? But apparently people don't really do that. They just let their dog shit on the fucking grass and not pick it up. Disgusting. And basically the next day, she started to feel not too well. She was still pretty active, and we could occasionally play with her, and she was, playful and all that, but she was slower than usual. Very much throwing up, like all over the carpet too. So whenever we hear like, we're like, oh, is she throwing up? Yeah, she threw up. Okay, let's try and clean it up. So we would clean it up with like, toilet paper or towels or whatever we could find, and just use like soap or something, to like mitigate the damage. I felt bad. I felt bad for Edna. But honestly, her time at Las Vegas was pretty not sanitary. It was not good, She did kind of enjoy it, but she was mainly in the room the whole time. But yeah, I mean, she got pretty sick, but overall she's fine. But yeah, that was basically like the whole experience for Edna, and I kind of felt bad. I felt bad for her. And even for myself, it didn't feel clean. It didn't feel sanitary. It felt very like disgusting to be in that room. It was pretty bad. Now, I don't know if my immune system was just like getting worse over the years due to being a bedroom dwelling degen, and I hardly ever go out nowadays and experience the world. If anything, my internet is the world, and sadly, I don't really experience much but the internet that has to offer. But all that being said, I got really, really sick coming back from Vegas. It could have been a combination of poor sanitation in the room, the hotel itself, Vegas being a major hub as a whole, heavily populated city with so many people from so many places. There's definitely handfuls of people who are there that are definitely sick or that don't know that they are sick and spreading whatever germs and diseases that they have to other people, coming in contact or whatever. But yeah, I definitely got what they were delivering, and let me tell you, it was bad. It could have been the flu or something worse, because I felt like I couldn't really get up from my bed, after a few days resting at home from Vegas. I couldn't get up. I couldn't really do much. My body was really aching, really, really aching. But overall, I just tried my best to let my body fight off whatever it needed to fight off. And I'm going based on memory, so just keep that in mind, everything that I'm saying. You know how like you feel like something is coming, you're feeling unwell, you could just feel the symptoms starting to arise. I'm getting like fatigue, chills, fever, cough, the whole 9 yards. And this was an illness that felt severe, and I never felt it in such a way where I was contemplating on going to the hospital or not. That's how bad it was, but I'm very stubborn. I'm a very stubborn wolf boy, and in the end of it all, I didn't even go. I just tried to tough it out, like I said. I was consistently taking medication to reduce the symptoms as my body was like fighting off whatever it can that I got from Vegas. And for sure, it wasn't COVID-19. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, since I'm like, double vaxxed, so I'm good there. And the whole time frame, it felt like a month of just being sick, or maybe 2 months, I should say. The worst of it happening early as they usually do, and this long tail of recovery just to try and get better, still taking medicine and all that. So over time, I was slowly getting better after experiencing the worst of the worst, and just having constant coughing fits. And all the coughing fits that I had were so severe to the point where I felt like I needed to throw up. They just became less and less severe over time, but they were still really annoying, but they just would not stop, the coughing itself. It felt so bad to the point where I felt like I was, gonna, live through all the coughing. Like I had to deal with it, like, how Mr. Poe deals with his coughing fits.
I must admit, I'm a little excited.
From like a series of unfortunate events, that character, always constantly coughing, and always needs to like take a break from that, from talking to the Baudelaire kids. I felt like I was gonna be him. I might have lost weight during all that too. No, I definitely lost a lot of weight. Yeah, I lost a couple pounds, being sick, and I thought it was great, cool, I lost pounds and all that, but it's like not really the healthiest way to lose weight, so it didn't really matter anyways because I just gained all that weight back. So, yeah, it didn't really matter all that much, but I realized I wasn't even all that hungry. I just wanted to stop feeling bad. Going back to the coughing though, I did have to FaceTime this doctor from Kaiser, tell him about my symptoms, tell him about, all the coughing fits that I I was suffering through, and they're like, okay. It sounds like you have like a cough, like a infection or something. Let me give you like coughing medication to reduce the coughing symptoms, and it'll probably reduce the coughing and make you feel better. And when I got the medication, they were like in little pill, spherical jelly forms. It was really weird, and they were clear too, with a little bit of brown, I guess, a tinted brown. No, actually, they're more clear than a tinted brown. But anyways, they didn't do jack shit. The medication didn't do much, or maybe it did, I just didn't realize it because I stopped coughing after a long period of time. I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest with you. But yeah, that was like probably the worst illness experience I ever had, and I'm not really gonna forget it, at least that I had that bad of an experience. And I hope I don't relive that. I really hope. So now comes the last 2 weeks. This was a weird one too because my family went to Vegas yet again this year at the time of this recording for the weekend. And I decided to stay home this time to take care of 2 doggies along with my brother, since, you know, this big fluffy potato, Eleanor, is my brother's dog. And I wound up getting sick again back, you know, when my family got back from Vegas. And it's like, fuck, man. I'm sick when I wasn't even there, and I'm sick when I was there. It seems like Las Vegas or Excalibur, you know, the casino, the hotel, fucking hates me. Or my immune system is just that bad because I don't go out. Anyways, I also felt like this, well, the second time me being sick, right? Me getting sick for the second time. I felt like this could have been part due to like a poor sleep schedule as well, let alone I am for certain got something from Vegas. Or at least my family brought something from Vegas and they were immune to it. I was not. But yeah, sleep. Being up late all the time, not getting enough rest for the night. I know during some of my streams, I can be like streaming late into the AMs as well. And during this one stream, like I think a few weeks ago, while I was getting sick, I was starting to like feel these symptoms come up again. And I was like, this time, oh, I feel the symptoms, I'm gonna take advantage. So I decided to like, you know, rest, drink medicine, try to be as proactive and active as I can, as if like I wasn't sick, you know, just going about my normal day. And I felt, at least during this sickness, that I could do that. Major difference this time was my sneezing. And it was more of a nasal congestion where that was taking, you know, a toll on me. And me feeling like some sense of like annoying fatigue. Like I was tired, my body was tired, my brain was cooked. My body just wanted me to rest, that's all it was. I didn't feel like I was dying like the first time or before, right? This time it was more like, hey buddy, get some rest. You'll feel better soon. And yeah, this sickness was pretty quick. I basically got over it in less than a week. And even as I still so often need to blow my nose because of all the mucus in my nostrils, because this was more like a nasal, not nasal infection or sinus infection or anything like that. I don't even think it was an infection. Haven't got that checked, but I know it wasn't severe. I just had to constantly like blow out all my fucking mocos out of my nose. All of the snot, you know? Pretty disgusting. But yeah, I went through like a box and a half of tissue paper too. And I made sure to drink plenty of water and rested. It all still sucks though, to be sick. And when I'm sick, it does keep me from making videos. It keeps me from streaming as well. And overall, while being sick does still suck, I feel like this is part of an indication where like I feel like I need to go out more. You know, if only I had more friends to go out with or the money to spend and go out and have fun, right? It would be really nice. Although looking for a job sucks. More on that another video, I guess. Or just go to conventions, you know? Just go out and do things and be with people so that way it would help my immune system and I could come in contact with people and maybe not get so sick easily because I'm like in a weird pseudo way self-quarantine myself. Not good, not healthy. And like I said, it makes me feel like I'm falling behind when I'm working on videos and streaming. And I do have all these ideas and scripts and whatnot to turn into videos like this one. So yeah, but I need to produce them, I need to work on them, I need to get them out. Being sick doesn't help. But yeah, so that's basically my time for being sick. That's why I haven't been uploading all that much. That's why I don't like Las Vegas all that much, because I've just had bad experiences when I come home. Or when I'm home. And Vegas isn't even all that sanitary, it's pretty disgusting, you know? A lot of the hotels, obviously, especially the cheap ones, they're not that sanitary, you know? So definitely, if you're not careful, you'll get sick. I guarantee it. Oh boy. But yeah, I mean, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you enjoy hearing me yap a lot, sir yaps a lot, subscribe. And I do live streaming as well, so be sure to follow me on Twitch. And, you know, if you need the company, I'll always be there. So yeah, take care.